So I'm trying to explain to people, you have to understand what we're really up against spiritually, how deadened certain people are spiritually. It's going to take Herculean, monumental efforts to try to mentally and spiritually reform these people. That's what the great work is. I'm not saying this to make you depressed about it. We have to know what the task is. We have to know it definitively, honestly, and accurately, or we're not going to get this job done. Again, these are the modern so-called house slaves. Now, what the house slaves of the American Civil War era period were, tragically what they were, as violent and immoral and completely and utterly wrong as the practice of slavery was being performed in this country, you have to understand there were people who were taken from their native lands, and because they were given a little bit more privilege, they beat and whipped and kept the other slaves in line that were often family members, parts of their tribal groups, etc. You'll look in these images, there are slaves with weapons in their hands, threatening the other slaves who are non-compliant with the master's demands. They're willing to do this to their own people for a little bit extra food or a warmer blanket. You see some of them with guns, holding guns while the others are in chains. I mean, this is a special kind of psychopath. This is a special kind of immoral human being. Instead of trying to do something to end the condition for all of them, they took up the side of the master. And this is what the modern police forces are, and the modern militaries are. And in every country in the world. It wasn't not just this country, everywhere on earth. That's what this cult of ultimate evil actually is. They are slaves themselves conducting slavery upon other slaves. And they don't even want to be free. There's a special place in hell for the house slave. There's a special place in hell. Whether you believe in hell or not, I'm talking about there is a special place of spiritual torment that is reserved in the hearts and minds of people who do jobs like that. Okay? The nihilists, those who don't care about anything, the traditional religionists and New Age religionists that take this super right brain approach that, oh, it's all, God's will or all peace and love and roses and love and light. No, there's psychopaths and monsters in this world that we need to be prepared to defend ourselves against. All of these people have one thing ultimately in common. They would never lift a finger to defend true freedom because all of them ultimately are cowards without the slightest bit of true courage. They're cowards. Cowards. And folks, that's a dynamic I also don't have the power to change, because that is internal spiritual work to develop true courage that needs to be done on an individual basis, where you develop enough self-love to say, I will not be stepped upon. I will not be enslaved. You will not take my rights without consequence.